In this week's Parshas Noach, the Rebbeinu Shalom tells Noach, "Ba'ata v'chol beischa Teiva," that you take your whole family, everything you own, and go into the Teiva to protect yourself from the waters of the Mabul. Now we know there's a famous teaching from the Baal Shem Tov. The Baal Shem Tov said that the word Teiva, which obviously simply means an ark that Noach was saved through, the word Teiva also means a word. And what the Rebbeinu Shalom is telling Noach, and he's telling each and every one of us, is that in order to sometimes protect ourselves from the craziness that goes on around us, Ba'ata v'chol beischa Teiva, take you and everything in your life and put yourself completely into the words of davening. To throw yourself completely into the words of davening. And so that's the famous teaching from the Baal Shem Tov, connecting the Teiva of Noach to the words of Tefillah. Now the Baal Tanya in Sefer Torah Or, in this week's Parsha, develops that idea from the Baal Shem Tov, and he makes the following observation. The pasuk describes the Teiva of Noach, that to the extent that the waters of the Mabul descended upon the world, the more waters there were, the higher the Teiva was raised. Right? That's how boats are. The more water, the higher the Teiva goes. Well, said the Baal Tanya, if the Baal Shem Tov, again, connected that the word Teiva doesn't just mean the ark, it also means words of Tefillah, then what it's telling us is the following idea. Baal Tanya said that very often people make the mistake of thinking that people that are sitting and learning all day, people that are in Kollel or Bachrim, they're in Yeshiva, Rosh Yeshivas, Big Tzadikim, they're the people that are able to really, really daven. But, unfortunately, Jews that, for the most part, are involved in Parnasa, trying to make a living, and are involved in and find themselves in areas that are outside holy environments, that are not in the Beis Medrash, they're not in the Beis HaKnesses. Those people are not necessarily able to daven as greatly and as deeply as other tzaddikim would. Said the Baal Tanya, it's completely opposite. Said the Baal Tanya, the waters of the Mabul in this context means all of the confusion and all of the chaos that comes with trying to make a living, trying to make a parnasa. And just as the Ark of Noach, said the Baal Tanya, the more waters that came to the world, the higher the Teiva was raised. So too it is with the words of davening. Said the Baal Tanya, if you have a Jew who throughout the vast majority of their day is spent in areas that are somewhat devoid of spirituality, and they themselves are bothered by that, and they themselves feel frustrated by the fact that they can't daven as much as they want to, they can't learn as much as they want to, they can't do as many mitzvahs as much as they want, and they feel stifled by being forced and compelled to be involved in business and work and so on. Well, said the Baal Tanya, then if they take that energy, if they take that frustration, and they bring that to the words of davening, then said the Baal Tanya, then that davening could be all the more powerful. If a Jew is able to take that passion, that energy that's being built up and that's being sort of developed over the course of a day when they're not able to do what they want to do spiritually, and then finally they have the release of going to Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv, then that Shachris Mincha Ma'ariv, the more waters of the Mabul, the higher the Teiva is raised. And said the Baal Tanya, that's what the pasuk means when Hashem told Noach, take you, your family, everything you own, and put that into davening. Don't think of davening or learning as an area that's outside of your regular schedule of parnasa. Quite the opposite. The more a person is involved in the craziness of this world, and the more they're frustrated by the fact that they can't daven as much as they can't learn as much as they want, then take that energy, take that frustration even, and put that into the davening. And when the opportunity comes where a person is able to open up a siddur, they're able to open up a sefer, to say a good word and so on, then all the more so, then the potency of that tefillah, the energy that a person can put into that tefillah is going to be much, much greater than a Jew who is sitting and learning all day. And so that's what the Baal Tanya says, so that's the lesson of Teivas Noach, is that whatever situation we're in, quite the opposite, the more opposition we're confronted by against our davening, we have the strength to take that opposition, to take that energy, and to actually turn that into deep momentum to the point of where the davening that eventually we're able to offer up to God will be that much more powerful. So Hashem should help that we should all come to Shabbos with Menuchas Nefesh and Menuchas Aguf, and both individually and collectively see the redemption of our people. Be as Kol Tzedek and Amen.
Thank you, Hashem.